So time is fully yours, Miss Aida. So please.
Did you see my presentation?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Yeah, this PPT already on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aytaç Perihan Akan. I am teaching assistant at Hacettepe University, Department of Environmental Engineering from Turkey. Today, I am going to talk about the effects of air pollution indicators and the meteorological parameters of the outbreak of COVID-19. So firstly, I will give a brief information about COVID-19, and then I will explain air quality and meteorological parameters, effect of these parameters on the transmission of COVID-19 virus. And then finally, I will summarize the results of the studies about the spread of the COVID-19. You know, COVID-19 was firstly announced as a global pandemic by World Health Organization on March 11, 2020. As of yesterday, there have been globally approximately 200 million confirmed cases have been reported to World Health Organization, and unfortunately 4 million people died. To combat with this pandemic, the recent studies have been investigating the factors accelerating the transmission of COVID-19 virus. So the air pollution can be considered as a fundamental source triggering to pulmonary or respiratory diseases. So you can see the sources of air pollutants from the figures. So we can say that the energy industries like power plants, manufacturing industries and construction, industrial processes like steel, iron and steel factories, cement factories, and residential and small-scale commercial combustion, and road transport, agriculture. These are the sources of air pollution, air pollutants. The present work aims to summarize the impacts of both outdoor air quality parameters, including carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, and particulate matters, and also meteorological parameters like temperature, pressure, relative humidity, wind speed, rainfall on the spread of COVID-19. So the current investigations reveal that there is a significantly positive or negative correlation supporting the transmission of COVID-19 under different air conditions. This table summarizes the related studies regarding associations between air quality parameters and COVID-19. So the first study conducted by Bluno Ortiz and co-workers in 2020, they investigated relationship between the air pollution indicators and new cases and deaths in Latin America and the Caribbean. They found that air quality were significantly associated with the spread of COVID-19 in this region. Another study conducted by Travigolo and co-workers in 2021, they investigated also the association between air pollutants such as PM2.5 and nitrogen dioxide and COVID-19 cases and deaths in England. They found that especially PM2.5 was a major contributor to COVID-19 cases in England. And another study about the air quality parameters on spread of COVID-19 performed by Zhang and co-workers in 2021, they investigated also the short-term exposure to air pollutants and COVID-19 confirmed cases in 235 cities of China. They also found that there is a statistically significant association between air pollutants and spread of COVID-19. And another study conducted by Conticini and co-workers in 2020, they investigated association between the air pollution and COVID-19 in Netfern, Italy. air pollution, the results show that the air pollution is associated with the high level of lethality. So Besser and co-workers performed a study about the association between air pollutants and PM2.5, PM10, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, lead, volatile organic carbon, and COVID-19 in California, USA, using Spearman and Kendall correlation tests. They found that these pollutants are significant association, statistically significant association between the air pollutants, show the statistically significant association with the COVID-19. So another study, Zhu and co-workers, they also investigated air pollutants and COVID-19 confirmed cases in 122 cities of China. So they found that there is a statistically significant positive association between air pollutants and confirmed cases. The last study conducted by Yeo and co-workers about the air quality parameters in the 49 cities of China, they found that positive associations between the air pollution based on the particulate matter concentration and COVID-19 confirmed cases. So looking at these, looking at the results of this study, we can say that air quality parameters have very significant effect on the spread of COVID-19 virus. Another important factor are meteorological parameters. As I mentioned before, temperature, pressure, relative humidity, wind speed, rainfall. So the previous studies show that these parameters have significantly effect on the respiratory viral infections. So the current studies focused on the meteorological parameters, how the meteorological parameters affect the transmission of COVID-19. So that the first, so you look at the previous studies about the severe acute respiratory syndrome conducted by Joy and co-workers in 2007. They investigated links between the severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, and meteorological factors like daily average temperature, pressure, relative humidity, daily hours sunshine, daily average wind velocity. So they found that the SARS outbreak was significantly associated with the daily average wind velocity. Another study.
3 minutes more. So.
Okay. And another study conducted by Ian co-worker, and also they found they investigated effects of temperature and relative humidity on influenza A and B. They found that the ambient temperature and relative humidity are inversely associated with influenza A, but high relative humidity is directly associated with influenza B. So this table shows the associations between meteorological parameters and COVID-19. Shahin investigated correlation between the weather parameters and COVID-19 in 9 cities of Turkey, considering Spearman correlation. He found that the highest correlations were observed for wind speed for 14 days ago of confirmed COVID-19 cases and temperature on the day. Another study implemented in New York City by Busser and co-workers, they found that average temperature and minimum temperature were significantly associated with COVID-19. So you can see some other studies. So Tesopu, ICSI, and co-workers and COSIA also investigated meteorological parameter and the relationship between the meteorological parameter and COVID-19, and they found that very significantly affect these parameters on the COVID-19. So in conclusion, this study aimed to guide decision makers, especially in preventing epidemic, about how climatological variables and air quality parameters affect the spread of COVID-19 outbreak. For this purpose, I used the literature studies. While majority of these studies have shown an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases in polluted regions, it has been also that found that there's usually statistically significant association between meteorological also parameters and COVID cases. Correspondingly, stricter precautions should be taken in regions with higher air pollution in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19, as well as demographic parameters such as gender and age should also be considered to make future studies more qualified. So here there is a reference list. So thank you so much for your attendance and listening to me.
Thank you very much, Ms. Aitak Perihan. Such a good presentation, and also it is very important for all of the people and the researcher especially to understand the relationship between the environment, between the pollution to the potential suffer from COVID-19. So this next 5 minutes I'll give to the other presenter, other attendant here, Ibu Landung Esarati. So please, you have any question for Ms. Aitak?
Yes, actually I have my research interest is concerning about gender, and you mentioned at your conclusion that gender attributes could be some consideration for doing your research calculation, yeah?
Yeah, gender. So in these studies, we look at the confirmed cases. So we couldn't separate the gender, female or male. So we can separate these gender also looking at the confirmed cases. So we can say that the how much female affected the air pollution parameters, like that.
Yeah. So it could be useful if we can then make a correlation between differentiate between gender. Yeah, that's your recommendation. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
Thank
you, Aitan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Landung. I think Bu Landung is got the idea about your recommendation. Maybe she would like to continue your research in Indonesia especially and Semarang specifically. That's interesting.
Yeah. You can do research collaboration then.
That's good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Aitak is also want to attend in Indonesia shortly. I hope you can make it join research with your university or your personnel. That's good idea. So from me, there is one question, Ms. Aitak. This relationship is between environment or air pollution to the COVID-19, is it instantly, especially the one who instant expose, I mean? So when we attend in the city with the high pollution, then we have more suffer from contact, or it is especially for the inhabitants community. Which one is it? Your research basically, your study.
My study doesn't include the habitats. So your question is about the habitat, right?
Yeah, inhabitant.
No, I couldn't look at the habitats, or I focus on only the air quality.
Air quality.
Yeah.
So which one is, for example, as a tourist, is it also include for this parameter? Jadi for tourists usually is also stay for 3 or 5 days, and then it is differ from the inhabitant. Basically, the inhabitant is all over the year. Maybe they stay very long with the exposure of the pollution. Which one?
In a study, before 14 days of confirmed COVID-19, if you expose the air pollutants before the 14 days of confirmed COVID-19, so after 40 days, you face with this virus, this disease, after 14 days, if you exposure the air pollutants.
All right, yeah.
So,
okay then.
This is very short time.
That's it, yeah. Any question, Bu Landung?
No, it's
No?
enough.
Yeah, I think your presentation is already enough for this session, and I will thank you for your sharing, and applause for Ms. Aitak. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the next session, I'll ask Bu Landung to carry on this session. 10 minutes for presentation, 5 minutes for discussion. So please, Bu Landung, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Javron. I would like to share my presentation. Yeah. Today, I would like to deliver my presentation. First of all, thank you for the opportunity, and I hope you are now in a safe and health condition during this pandemic condition. Our research title, A Gender Mainstreaming Approach of Social and Economic Impact Management During the COVID-19 Pandemic in Urban Settlements. My name is Landung. Together with my research partner here, Egy and Artinisik, we are from Department of Urban and Regional Planning from Diponegoro University. Our presentation structure divided into 4 sections. First, introduction, and then methodology, result and conclusion. Before we continue to the main discussion of our research, I would like to give a brief introduction about the condition of COVID-19 in Semarang. So according to the data from Siaga Corona in August 2020, Semarang recorded to have 6,940 people infected by COVID-19. It was 39%, the highest proportion from all total people infected by COVID in Central Java province. Therefore, as a response, Semarang city government enacted Kampung Siaga COVID-19 called Kampung Siaga Candi Hebat. The main objective of implementation this program is first to stop the spread of coronavirus, and then second, to increase the economic resilience of family in the village. And it was proven that the program has reduced the number of positive cases from 970 people to 622 people. The positive side of this program is because it was implemented by enacting the concept of community-based disaster risk management, which is basically the objective is to encourage social capital development and to deal with capacity building adaptation. So we decided to do the research based on our research objective to review the implementation of gender mainstreaming, sustainability in economic and social condition. We use gender mainstreaming indicators, 5 aspects, which is access, participation, control, benefits, and inclusiveness. Our research scope was in Polaman village. It was one village, RT 001, RW 002, with a total population of 500 people. As you can see from the picture, the land allocation for the program consisted of 4 components. First, for agricultural land. This is for the food security program. And then second, there's the freshwater fisheries area. The third location is for the Center for Kampung Siaga Candi Hebat, which is basically the COVID-19 info center. And then the fourth part, which is the most important thing, is the isolation facility. We decided to use scoring analysis with the calculation using Likert scale of 0.1 to 5. And we concluded that the gender mainstreaming implementation, therefore, could be in 5 categories, from very poor condition to excellent condition. We use this formula to have the score by calculating the answer of the respondents to divided by total ideal score and then multiplied by 100%. The data collection were conducted by two means. First by observation and then second by questionnaire. We delivered the questionnaire using the population sample errors of 15%. And we divided the respondents to 6 categories, which is the representative of community groups. There are village official, farmer groups, medium small enterprises, food security actors, Kampung Siaga Candi Center, and then people from fishery group. Our result obtain some many positive facts that there are 5 different activities conducted by the community in Polaman village. As you can see from the picture, the main activities consist of economic aspect or economic sector, and then social sector and health sector. From the economic sector, we can see that the objective to increase the income of the family in Polaman village has been established by giving the opportunity and encourage women farmers to do the plantation program, and then also they have their food security program, and they able to add additional income for the family by selling snack from fisheries and farming harvest. This chart, this map also pointed location for main land allocation as stated previously in the introduction, that 4 of them are the main location for support the Kampung Siaga Candi Hebat implementation, that are the COVID-19 info center, public kitchen to do the food security programs, and then isolation facility, and then in the right bottom corner is the fisheries and freshwater area. We coming to the conclusion that from economic aspect, there is a certain and clear that low-income people are vulnerable with decrease in income sources and job losses. But what they are good in doing the implementation is because they form innovation. So they give a special train for common villagers to be able to have fisheries and freshwater farming and help them to get additional income and also increase their capacity building. In social aspect, we also found that people are forming special networks via organizational groups in terms of sharing access for various resources, namely information, physical and financial assistance, as well as emotional support via kinship. And from the calculation of gender mainstreaming indicator assessment, we've come to the conclusion that control aspect are the main contribution to this success because of the existence of the community control. This is coming from 2 causes. First, because people are receive adequate rights to have harvesting the crops and receive basic food assistance, and also because they are given opportunity to be treated equal for any health facilities supporting COVID-19 maintenance program. So the summary come to the calculation that the implementation of gender mainstreaming in Polaman village through Kampung Siaga Candi Hebat is quite effective. We then propose to recommendation first, because we see that the success of Kampung Siaga Candi Hebat is on economic viability. So it is important to develop programs based on the village leading sectors such as freshwater fisheries. And then second, we also believe that to strengthen the social community is by involving the community at a larger scale. So people should be giving some access and opportunity between community groups and representatives. I think that's all from our presentation. Thank you very much for all your attention. I welcome any feedbacks and comments. Mr. Jafron, you should unmute. Okay.
Sorry, thank you very much. It's what a good presentation. So I think this is a sort of breakthrough to provide a model for the other place. But before I give to Miss Aita to ask to Bulandung, is it any relevancy with your atau similar or maybe contradictory to the yours opinion or your perspective? So please, Aita, Miss Aita.
Thank you so much for your nice presentation. So you investigated the gender approach. Mm-hmm. So I understand your question also right now better. So I don't have any comment or question. It's good.
Thank you.
All right. So I have one question about this model. So I believe this is a good representative of the area where there is several supporting activity in the area. But is it possible to implement to the other area? Because like freshwater resorts, it is very limited and it's not available to the others. So please, Bu Landung.
Okay, that's very good question. This is actually also our recommendation that in order to have the same success implementation in other areas, the concern should be on economic leading sector of the village, so we can have modification. For example, now in Semarang we have the same program in 15 village, and they have the variety of economic sector they are enacted by the community. Not only by freshwater fisheries, but also I know certain people, orchid farmers, is also help them to increase their additional income, because the government give them the training on networking and marketing strategies. And also I know in my around in my neighborhood, we are have economic based on herbal products. For example, turmeric, ginger,
Ginger.
Turmeric and ginger farming, and we can also make modification by develop this economic base of the community and in various ingredients.
All right.
Yeah. So basically, should be from the economic point of view first, and then from that point of view, we can encourage the community to have hand in hand by themselves and develop the family and then the neighborhood.
All right. Yeah, it is very ideal, I suppose, because
Yes.
Bulandong prioritize the economic first and then focus on the second and next priority to the family and even smaller group in the community.
Yes. Yes. That is the main objective by the government.
Yeah, we hope that's your model, your inspiration will be catch by government, ya, jadi bisa ditangkap oleh beberapa
Yes.
government.
Yeah.
So I think what about the time, Mbak, at room 7? Is any other presenter?
Yes, Diah Maya. Diah Maya.
Mbak Maya.
Yes.
Okay, this is my turn.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So please to stop share the previous presenter.
I didn't see Mbak Maya in this line, Mbak. Atau Mbak Maya namamu?
Yeah. Hello.
Room 7 itu Mbak Maya.
Yeah.
Is there any other presenter here? Not yet.
Actually, I have on the schedule on.
There is 4 or 5 ya.
Saya jadwalnya jam 2 sebenarnya. Ini urut jadwal atau tidak ya?
Sebenarnya urut jadwal, Bu, tapi ini sebelum ada Ibu kan ada atas nama Pak Agus Rudiono, tapi beliau belum masuk ke dalam ruangan ini. Jadi ya maju untuk jadwalnya atau bagaimana?
Okay, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe I can present right now.
Yeah, Bu Maya, so please, it is your time.
Okay.
So please,
Thank you.
present your PPT first.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for this opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This afternoon I will present my article. The title is can I share my PPT?
Ya, sure. Ya, Bu, silakan, Bu. Mungkin Bu Landung sudah stop sharing?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this afternoon I want to present my article. The title is Pattern of Relationship in Urbanization, Air Quality and Economic Growth in ASEAN, an initial mitigate to overcome an environmental degradation. The introduction here, I want to talk about the Pania's urbanization model that he said that urbanization can influence directly or indirectly by socioeconomic development through population growth. And other economists here, that is Fireport model, he said that urbanization is directly affected by previous urbanization and is indirectly influenced by deteriorating rural condition and economic development. And the stage when urbanization can drive social and economic development, but causing many environmental population problems, resulting in decreased environmental quality. That is the post-industrial non-metropolitan counter-urbanization stage. and this is strengthened by studies conducted by Wong and Liang at 2019. They state that urbanization, population, consumption pattern, and economic development relatively cause the population, especially cause environmental quality decrease. But I found the data from World Bank in 5 main ASEAN countries. In the slide, you can see that this is the data that show the urban population and CO2 emission. Here you can see that Thailand have the largest urban population, but Thailand have the CO2 emission in the second line here after Indonesia. And Indonesia, although Indonesia has the lowest urban population here, but Indonesia have the worst in CO2 emission. However, the cosmic environmental curve hypothesis say that at the beginning of economic development, environmental quality will decrease. At a certain time period, the development process will be reserved, and when the country of per capita income rise, the development residues will decrease because they use the more economic technology. So according to the phenomenon gap here, the study aims to analyze how the interaction pattern of the causal relationship between urbanization, air quality, and economic growth in the 5 main Asian countries. And here I want to state the significance of this paper, that I want from this article, hoping that it will create a policy or strategy that can be made based on the targeted variable to find out the appropriate solution, that hoping that it will to overcome the problem of environmental degradation, especially air quality. Research methods in this paper, I conduct the descriptive quantitative research, and the data taken from 5 main Asian countries start from 1971 to 2018. And the data taken from World Development Indicators by World Bank and International Energy Agency in 2020. The variable here, I choose urbanization and air quality, as well as economic growth. And the variable, the form is logarithm natural, because logarithm natural can minimize the heterogeneity problem. Here I write a general model here as dependent variable is urbanization, that to proxide the to proxide from urban density, and independent variable, this is air quality and economic growth. And from general model, from general model, I generate as vector error correction model, and here the tree of VSCM. You can see from the slide, the model 2 here, the model 2, model 3, and model 4. Okay, result and discussion. The first step, I conduct the unit root test, and from the slide, on the table 1, I write summarize of the result of from RTF and PP panel root test here. And from the table, when the level of variable is not stationary, because the p-value here more than 5%. When I generate, when I run of first difference, all variable is on stationary. You can see that the p-value here less than 5%. So the conclusion of unit root test, all variable have a stationary degree of integration at the first difference or integrated at the first level. Sorry, this is right mistake here. Okay, after all variable is integrated on the first level, we can conduct the Johansson co-integration test. And the result you can see on table 2. We can see from the trace test and Max Eigen test here. And the p-value here is more than 5%. So the null hypothesis is rejected. It means that there is co-integration and all variables have a long-term equilibrium. And the third stage, I conduct the granular causality, or usually we can call as block exogenity test. And here on the table 3, you can see short run and ECT here refers to error correction term to proxy the long-term equilibrium. And from this table, ECT for equilibrium, ECT for model 2 and model 3, or for equation 2 and equation 3, the null hypothesis is rejected because the p-value here less than 5%. It means, otherwise, the sign of ECT is negative. And if ECT negative, p-value is significant, I means less than 5%, implies that urbanization and air quality refers to model 2 and model 3 here, have a speed adjustment toward long-term equilibrium. And in the short run here, we can see the bidirection causality between urbanization and economic growth. Here you can see that the start remark exists on the urbanization and economic growth here. And then the finding of this research that unidirectional causality exists from economic growth here to air quality. And then after we determine granular causality, we can estimate the factor error correction model here. And because according to the according to the wall test, we find out that the fit model here is model 2 and model 3. So we can comparison model 2 and 3, and you can see that according to diagnostic test seen from the R square and F statistic, we can say that model 2 is better than model 3. So the discussion in my articles that air quality and economics development will affect people desire to move to the city. It means that rationally the existence of pull factors and push factor will be a consideration for people to stay in the city. The causality between economic growth and air quality urbanization. The higher economic growth shown by rapidly growing investment, and it will attract people to move the cities. I mean, people will, if this condition show the counter-urbanization stage that marked by decreasing physical and socioeconomic carrying capacity for the increasingly dense urban population. And this condition depends on the speed and scale of the increase in the cities that place great pressure on the environment and become a threat to sustainable development. And the finding of this research, the finding of my study, that air quality variables have a significant negative relationship to urbanization in the short run. It means that when CO2 emission increase, result in health problem or discomfort to a society in the city. And it will make reducing people's desire to live in the city, and they will shift to small town around them. And then economic growth in the short run and long run influence air quality in 5 main Asian countries. It means that the rapid economic growth in these countries has an impact on the increase in CO2 emission. It means that a high level of income can expand economic activity, and it will cause the household, corporate and government sectors of production and consumption of goods and services will be moved more dynamically, and it will exist a negative externality. So the conclusion of my article that a long-term relationship between urbanization and air quality variables, and the long-run relationship runs bidirectional panel causality on urbanization to economic growth, and then unidirectional causality panel on economic growth to air quality. And the strategy as initial policy, we need a collaboration and cooperation inter-country within and outside the Asian region, and it is needed to overcome the degradation in air quality. We can see from the agreement with the Japan, and the signature is called the Green Ship Strategy on 2020 until 2025. And this is the initial program as an effort ASEAN region to reduce CO2 emission. Okay, I think this is all my presentation. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Thank you very much, Bu Dia. It's a good presentation with yeah, a little bit formula and numbers. So I think it is interesting for everyone here. Maybe next 5 years we'll discuss from the audience. Is there any question or comment? Maybe Pak Poniman. Hello, Pak Poniman. Hello.
Sorry, can I stop share here?
Wait a minute, Bu.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Pulandong atau Miss Aita, you have any question? So please.
Yes,
comment.
yes, Professor. I have a question. So you show the CO2 emission graphs in your presentation, right? For 5 Asian countries.
Yes.
So here, Indonesia shows the more CO2 emissions than other 4 countries. So you can conclude these CO2 emissions accordingly your results. The Indonesia have more construction, have more improved building than other 4 countries. You can conclude like this.
Maybe I can add your suggestion in my discussion, maybe, or maybe I will write more detail about what will governments, what will Indonesian government to what is that, to create strategy reduce the CO2 emission according to the urban population.
Yeah. In your discussion part, you showed a paragraph mentioned that the CO2 emission increases, so that means the people moves the shorter, moves the smaller cities, smaller village, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
closer,
Yes.
smaller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I will thank you for your suggestion. Maybe I can I can add more the information about your suggestion.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Aitak.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Bu Dia. So, in the fact that in Semarang, for example, some people, they move to the surrounding city, smaller surrounding city, like in maybe Ungaran, Kendal, or smaller. So it is the fact that because Semarang is
Crowded.
yeah, crowded,
Yes.
polluted, maybe warmer, so it is not suitable for the community, and then some of them move the smaller city around. Yeah.
Actually, I have been step in my discussion. Maybe I will write more detail. Here you can see from my slide. This is.
Yeah, shift to small town around them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe to make it more clear, I will write based on data, or maybe on case study in Indonesia, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
I think Udia is already answer the potential to add some more detailed information about the phenomena shift to small town around. Yeah, thank you. So I think that's good suggestion or good question from the ITAC, and thank you. So Pak Poniman. Oh,
can I stop share, Pak Jafra?
Okay, you can stop your share, but maybe I need to ask Bu Landung. Is there any question atau Mas? Oh, Mbak Eugenia atau Mas Eugenia ini? Mbak Eugenia. Ibu Eugenia. Any more question for Bu Dia? If there is no any more question, so I finish for the Bu Dia session, and I'll ask for the room 7. Is there any more presenter attend before we finish this class? So Mbak Maya, Mbak
Yes.
room 7. Is there any
Pak.
other?
Okay.
Pak Jafron, ini
Ya.
saya sedang menanyakan ke pihak panitia, apakah ada yang mengirimkan video PPT atas nama Agus Rudiono dan Muzalifah Hamid.
Ya.
Nah, sampai sekarang lagi dicek oleh panitia, jadi belum tahu.
Oke.
Oke, sebelumnya minta maaf untuk sesi presentasi. Is there the presence list?
Ya.
Attendance list?
Sudah all together is already present the title, the article, baik itu dari ITEC, Ibu ITEC atau Miss ITEC from Turkey, and then Fulando, and also yourself, Bu Dia. Jadi there is only 3 of us which present here. So unfortunately, Bu Dia came later, so we cannot follow the presentation before.
Apakah ada ini lembar presentasi Mbak Room 7? Presentasi?
Ada presentasi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, please send to the chat room because sorry, I haven't write the attendance list.
Oke.
Yeah.
Bu Dia bisa mengisi absensi terlebih dahulu, Bu.
Yeah. Everybody, you can fill your attendance form in Google Form.
Where I can get the where I can get the what is that?
Okay.
The Google or you use it, a link or something? Yeah. Okay. Can you resend again the attendance list?
Okay. Wait.
Link.
You can open the chat.
Yes.
Sorry, because there is no new message on chat room.
Your chat. Okay.
Sure, I already opened the chat about the attendance.
Accumulate. Okay, yes, I can see now. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Miss Aitek, Miss Landung, can you please fill your attendance form? I'll ask for the committee whether is there any other presenter which come to join with this class. Assalamualaikum. Ini untuk room 7 itu kan ada 4 presenter, tetapi yang datang ada yang belum datang atau yang belum online. Ini bagaimana? Ditinggal atau ditunggu?
Yang dilewati dulu saja.
Tapi sudah selesai kita kalau dilewati.
Oh, benar. Oh, ya Joko, Mas.
Joko, alright. Jadi untuk audien biar di.
Nah, ya. Nah, karena kalau kita tinggal ya Raina, atau mungkin kan dia ngepasin jamnya ya.
Iya betul, ya oke.
Nah, iya. Jadi nanti kalau kita tinggal kita salah karena ya terjadwalkannya mungkin bukan sekarang.
Oke. Dia cukup.
Aja minta tolong mahasiswa biar ditelepon ya.
Oke, betul. So committee asks all of you to stay wait for a minute to wait for the last for the next presenter. Maybe they still prepare or it's not the time yet, so we waiting for the attendance. So please be patient here. Maybe some of you will discuss each other. It's okay.
Yes.
Bu Landung, you can discuss with Miss Aita about the gender suffer potensi from COVID. Kalau aku sih taunya ya history mengenai Turki yang berkenaan dengan history itu sangat terkesan. history of the Turkish in Indonesia. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
Jadi untuk COVID ini bidangnya panjenengan semuanya. So, discipline your expertise. While we're waiting, maybe we can hear COVID-19 case in Turkey. Which one is more suffer from the COVID-19 in Turkey, Miss Aida? Is it possible for you to share?
Sorry, I couldn't understand your question.
All right. Maybe you can share about COVID-19 in your country.
Yeah. Yes. We have a lockdown in May, the first 2 weeks of May, and before
National,
May.
Is it nationally or locally?
Nationally. Before the May, in April, the cases significantly increased. So the government decided to lock down nationally in the beginning of the May for first 2 weeks, and then COVID-19 cases started to decrease. But right now, in the summer, unfortunately, cases started again to increase. Yeah.
Is it related to the Eid Mubarak? Eid Mubarak?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. In Indonesia, it's very important. What we call it? Yeah. Eid Mubarak is suffer the increase. The COVID is increased.
Yes, absolutely.
They're used to going back home, and they join with the family in. Okay. So how about the mortality, the fatality? Some of
Yes, the mortality also increases every passing day.
Yeah, every day.
Fortunately,
Yeah. In my kampong, my village, is also last weeks is very high in mortality because when here, especially from the announcement from the musola, from the masjid, usually they announce from the loudspeaker, from the mosque, from the masjid. So there is a Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Jadi it's statement for the Arabic fatality for Indonesia. Ya, mungkin ada yang dari luar Semarang, Ibu Landung punya experience atau punya information about your surrounding in your pemukiman, atau silakan Bu.
I think the most important strategy is dealing with the behavior. It is very common that for socialist community like Turkey and Indonesia, people are getting around and it's not really having social or physical distancing. Yeah. So it is difficult for us to change the habit. People are always easy to have physical touch, have intimate relationship, and then because of COVID, everyone has to stay distant. It is very difficult. Yeah. So I think it's become one of big problems for socialicity, like Indonesia and Turkey. In my department, actually, it's not only talking about COVID-19 strategy, but because we are dealing with more on urban and regional planning, I think now our challenge is how to plan housing and settlements, but we have to include or integrate the physical and social distancing approach. So, for example, in my neighborhood, I live also in a village in Tembalang around Diponegoro University. Um, one family have 100 square meter house, and then they have the neighbor live adjacent to that, so they are live in a very crowded habitat. But for COVID, we have to create maybe site planning, special models for settlements and housing, so that people are living not too crowded or too close to their neighbors. Yeah, so this is very difficult because then we have to think about the population increase and the limited land availability.
So it is better for the smaller or densely populated. There is a specific regulation in to avoid the contact.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
good.
because I can I'm not fully following the announcement from the government about the vaccination, but I understand that now the national government focus and concentrate the vaccination on the dense city rather than on the village, because of try to reduce the infected persons and try to prevent the healthy people from getting infection.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a comprehensive strategy should be implemented, I think.
I think I'll ask Mbak Maya first in room 7, whether Mas Ahmad Abdul Hamid is already in contact, or there is no sign to attend here. Mbak Maya, could you please, Mbak Maya?
Mas Ilga, Pak.
Yeah, could you please contact or call Pak siapa ini? Abdul Hamid.
Abdul Hamid dan Agus Rudiono.
Yeah, could you please call the beliau ini online? We have 2 presenter which is not attend yet, so unfortunately we will waiting up to 14:30. Jadi 14:30 we still waiting for them to attend. So please, is there any sign of tanda-tanda kehadiran? Sudah dikontak, Mbak? You already contact Pak Abdul Hamid dan Mas
Saya nggak punya ini, Pak, nggak punya nomor kontaknya beliau-beliau.
Oke.
Terus saya sudah menanyakan ke pihak panitia, apakah atas nama Bapak Agus Rudiono dan Bapak Abdul Hamid itu mengirimkan video PPT, juga tidak mengirimkan, Pak.
Jadi dari panitia tidak ada nomor kontak ya, harus dihubungi atau nama-nama yang sudah tercantum dalam sistem nggak ada, Mbak Maya ya?
Saya Ilga, Pak.
Ilga, sorry. Dari tadi. Okay. So we still waiting another 30 minutes. So we are very sorry because here is already mentioned about the time they have to present, but unfortunately, some of us they don't register, so the program will be much faster atau lebih cepat selesainya kita selesaikan. Jadi saya not in relevant time, appropriate time. Kalau Mbak Eugenia dari planologi juga, Mbak?
Iya, Pak.
Dari kita sering bergabung dengan Bu Landung atau Bu Diah ini?
Saya bimbingan Bu Landung, Pak.
Jadi banyak pekerjaannya ini. Pak Poniman, there is another attendant here. Pak Poniman is a graduate student from Magister Ilmu Lingkungan, Environmental Science. It's work in Departemen Pertanian in Pati, jadi kementerian. Is still very busy to communicate with the boss in Pati. Halo Pak Poniman. Ya, masih sibuk. So I remind you to fill the attendance form through Google, where the link
Maaf Pak Jafron.
Silakan.
Nah, ini saya mau mencoba menanyakan dulu ke Pak Thomas.
Boleh, silakan.
Terima kasih Pak. Selamat siang Pak Jafron.
Silakan. So please.
Saya sudah menanyakan ke Pak Thomas perihal tersebut. Disuruh menunggu untuk 14.30 karena yang terakhir kan jadwal presentasinya 14.30. Kalau misalnya beliau nanti belum masuk sampai 14.30, mungkin bisa ditutup Pak Zoom meeting-nya. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mbak. Jadi this is the announcement from the committee. So we have to be here up to 15:30 to wait for the last presenter, because if we close this now on, so they will complain because the time for him is not yet coming. Jadi kita tunggu dulu. Thank you for your patience and here. Halo Pak Bon. Sehat semuanya, masih di mute Pak. Pak Boniman. Masih di mute.
Halo, yeah. Halo. Thank you Pak Japron. I answer plus Ibu ITEX.
Bisa di bahasa Indonesia saja Pak.
What is the explained air parameter and increase case of COVID-19? What about certain climatological parameter that can trigger COVID-19? For Ibu
Landung.
Aitek Perihan.
Ms. Maitek, there is a question for you. Is there any other factor apart from the air pollution which triggered the COVID?
I couldn't understand your question, actually. Can you repeat it?
Okay, mungkin Bu Landung, can you help us, Bu Landung?
I writing a chat, Pak Sapron.
Right, yeah.
I write in chat.
Okay.
You check and please.
Okay.
No.
There is no. I didn't find any chat from Pak Poniman. So maybe Bu Landung, can you help us, Bu Landung?
Yes.
Can you help us to deliver the Pak Poniman question?
Oke. Pak Poniman, pakai bahasa Indonesia aja, Pak. Nanti saya coba bantu translate-kan.
Oh, baik. Tadi dijelaskan oleh Bu. Bentar, saya sambil mendengar-dengar ya tadi karena saya kebetulan ada komunikasi dengan Bapak pimpinan karena kebetulan sebentar lagi beliau harus rapat. Tadi kan dijelaskan bahwa COVID-19 itu ada kaitannya dengan oxide, terus kemudian sulfur oxide dan sebagainya. Bagaimana mekanismenya terkait COVID-19 meningkat karena peningkatan peningkatan daripada emisi nitrosid dan sulfur oxide. Kemudian yang kedua tadi juga dijelaskan terkait dengan suhu, kemudian pH dan sebagainya. Mekanismenya juga seperti apa? Kaitannya adalah hal-hal tersebut itu memang kita tidak bisa menghindari daripada cemaran sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, kemudian parameter-parameter suhu, kemudian pH dan sebagainya. Monggo Ibu.
Yes. Saya coba ya Pak ya. Aitek. Okay, Mr. Poniman asked you about the relationship of nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, temperature and basal level.
Okay.
pH to the increase of COVID infection. How is the mechanism actually?
So, for example, temperature. Look at based on the Turkey. So Turkey located in temporal region.
Mm-hmm.
So these region triggers to the COVID-19 in especially summer days. So this is there is this type of relationship between the temperature and COVID-19. If the temperature increases, COVID-19 increases.
Mm-hmm.
And also some regions show positive relation with the sulfur dioxide or nitrogen dioxide with COVID-19, spread of the COVID-19. Some regions show negative correlation,
Mm-hmm.
significantly, statistically significant, or some regions shows insignificant relationship with these air pollutants or temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
So this is related to the regions and also, for example, in Italy shows another results, for in England shows other results for the relationship between the meteorological parameters. So we have to look at the location, and also population is another important factor. But I can say that especially particulate matters, the aerosols. So these particulate matters significantly affect the COVID-19 spread of COVID-19. When we look at the previous studies in the early of 2000s, including severe acute syndrome, SARS and SARS and MERS, Middle East acute syndrome. So these diseases, when these diseases occurred, some researchers investigate the effect of the air pollutants. So they observed that these parameters significantly affect the respiratory diseases, especially particulate matters.
And do you have like a special instrument or tools to measure this kind of parameters?
I didn't measure the particulate matters or another air quality parameters, but in my university, some professors measured the air quality parameters.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I would like to also investigate the lockdown effects on air pollution, because we have a lot of lockdown time, especially in May, April, and also in last year at the beginning of the COVID-19. So I would like to start the effect of lockdown, the air pollution.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you. Now I understand. Although my background is not on physics science, yeah, but from your explanation now I understand the relationship. Pak Poniman ada loh, Pak Ponimannya malah pergi Pak Jamron.
Ya, ini Pak Poniman segera menghadap ke pimpinan katanya.
Yeah.
Tapi it's realistic when the weather getting warmer, the respiration rate of the body become increased, and then potentially the COVID sufferer is very potential to infect us. Yeah, but if it is on the other side, the cooler, then there is a different relationship. It is a different reaction to the suffer potential. Yeah, I think the time is already on 14:30. So the last presenter is not coming yet. So it is time for this class is finished. So thank you for your presentation, for the nice presentation. And I will, maybe we need to take a photo first. Right?
Yes.
Could you
please
take
a picture?
Yeah, I'll ask all of the attendant here.
Yes.
Baik, Mbak apa tadi? Mbak Yuji.
Yujinya mungkin bisa dinyalakan dulu kameranya. Oke.
Can you count for us, Mbak?
Oke. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Photo session
Next time.
for us, and so I, as a moderator here, will close the session, and thank you for the attendance, and enjoy the day. Goodbye. Selamat sore. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe and healthy, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Budia. Thank you.